Peace be upon you, and may God's mercy and blessings be upon you. Welcome to Cognition. Hey, if you're someone who loves getting to the heart of big ideas, you're in the right place, so make sure to subscribe. Today, we are tackling a huge, and I mean huge question. How can you literally unlock the secret to retiring a full decade earlier? Let's jump right in.
Seriously, just pause and think about that for a second. 10 extra years. Years you could use to travel, to finally start that passion project, to be with your family, to just live life completely on your own schedule. It sounds like a total dream, right? Well, it turns out that understanding one single powerful concept can bring that dream a lot closer to reality.
Now, this secret, it isn't some ridiculously complex stock-picking trick or, winning the lottery. Nope, it's something way more fundamental, something that absolutely everyone can put to use. It's called the time value of money. And trust me, once you really get this, you will never ever look at your money the same way again.
Okay, so let's break this down. That official definition, yeah, it sounds a little bit like it's from a textbook. But the idea behind it is incredibly simple. It just means that a dollar you have in your hand today is way more powerful than a dollar you get a year from now. So why is that? Well, it's because the dollar you have right now can be put to work. It has the potential to start earning for you immediately.
This right here is the heart of the whole thing. I want you to stop thinking of your money as just cash and start thinking of it like a team of little workers. Every dollar you invest is a worker. And when it earns a return, that return becomes a brand new worker. Pretty soon you've got this whole growing army of workers. And the bigger it gets, the faster it hires even more workers.
The absolute best way to see this thing in action is with a story. So let's look at two people who have the exact same goal, a comfortable retirement. We're going to call them Amira and Ziad. And their story perfectly, brilliantly shows the power of what we're talking about.
All right, meet Amira and Ziad. They work at the same company, they have the same salary, everything's equal. They both decide to invest the exact same amount of money. Let's call it $500 every single month. The only, and I mean the only difference between them is when they start. Amira, she's our early starter, and she begins right at age 25. Ziad, our late starter, he waits just 10 years and gets going at age 35.
Okay, let's fast forward to our first checkpoint, when they both turn 35. At this point, Amira has already been investing for a full decade. Her money has been growing and working for her that whole time. And Ziad? Well, he's literally just putting his very first $500 in. Amira already has a massive 10-year head start, and her portfolio is already doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Now, let's jump ahead another 15 years. They're both 50 years old. Amira and Ziad have both been saving that same $500 month in and month out like clockwork. But just look at this chart. The gap between them hasn't just grown, it has become a chasm. It's because Amira's much bigger pile of money is now generating huge returns all by itself, launching her wealth way, way past Ziad's. So they both keep going, right? Same amount every month, all the way until the typical retirement age of 65. Now you might be thinking, okay, Ziad must have caught up a little bit, right? The reality is actually so much more dramatic. And now for the big reveal. Wow, just look at that difference. It is absolutely staggering. After decades of saving the exact same amount of money from their paychecks, Amira's retirement fund is just on another planet compared to Ziad's. That 10-year delay didn't just cost Ziad 10 years of savings. No, it cost him decades of growth on all of that early money. Let's put some real numbers on this to see the impact. At age 65, Amira, our early bird, has over $1.2 million. Think about that. That's a fund that can comfortably support her for the rest of her life. She has choices, she has freedom, and it's all because she started at 25.
And Ziad, he ends up with around $550,000. Now that's not nothing, it's a good amount of money, for sure, but it's less than half of what Amira has. He'll probably have to work those extra 10 years, maybe even longer, just to try and catch up. That right there is the brutal cost of waiting. That is the time value of money, clear as day.
So what is this financial magic that made such a crazy difference between them? Well, here's the thing. It's not magic at all. It's a mathematical force of nature called compounding, and it is the engine that drives this entire process.
Probably the best way to picture compounding is to think of a snowball rolling down a really, really long hill. You start at the top by packing a small snowball. That's your first investment. As it starts to roll, it picks up more snow. That's your earnings. So now the snowball is a little bigger. But here's the key. On the next turn, that bigger snowball picks up even more snow. Time is the length of that hill. The longer you let that snowball roll, the bigger and faster it grows, almost exponentially.
This concept is so unbelievably powerful that it's often called the eighth wonder of the world. And this quote, which a lot of people attribute to Einstein, just nails it. It shows the two sides of the coin. When you invest, you earn it. You have this incredible force working for you. But when you're in debt, say with a credit card, you pay it. That same force starts working against you. Getting this changes everything.
Okay, so the story of Amira and Ziad. It's not just some story, right? It's a lesson. And the really great news is you get to decide today which of those characters you want to be. So let's talk about how you can get on your own path to freedom.
So what can you do, like, right now? First thing, forget about the past. Don't beat yourself up for not starting sooner. You know that saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. That's what this is all about. Second, just focus on being consistent. This isn't about one giant, risky investment. It's about the simple, powerful habit of putting money aside regularly. And finally, make time your greatest superpower. Even a tiny amount invested today is more powerful than a much larger amount 10 years down the road.
And that brings us to the end. The power to completely change your financial future, it really just comes down to understanding one simple thing. Your most valuable asset isn't your money, it's your time. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. After seeing the incredible power of starting early, what is the first small change you might consider making to let time start working for you? We genuinely love to hear your thoughts in the discussion below. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.